Where would you recommend people look for properties?
That's a great question. It really depends on their risk, depends on how much money they have, how much time, how much expertise. Earlier today, I was talking to somebody who's a flipper, and so they're looking all the time for properties that they can flip. That is, buy the property, fix it up, and sell it. A lot of people look where they live. For long-term investment, I live in California, and it doesn't make sense here. Back in 2004, 2005, the prices got outmatched relative to rents. They cost too much, and so it didn't make any sense to buy an investment property. And so I started taking clients out of state to Texas and Michigan. In 2007, I went to Michigan myself and started buying stuff there because it made a lot more sense than here. You could cash flow properties, where here in California in 2007, up until in 2007, you couldn't cash flow. It wasn't until about 2009, 8 and 9, when you could start to cash flow. And that's because of the collapse, because the properties dropped here in Sacramento like 68% on average. That was the median price drop across the Sacramento market, which is huge. That's 2/3 of the price. It was 300,000, now it's 100,000. And then everything looked really good for a while, and across the nation. But the thing is, California has gone up, and a lot of other places in the nation have gone up. It hasn't come back down yet. Yeah. So even though we have higher interest rates, it's in the 6s right now in the summer of 2025. It still doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, what I have found, and here at Go Be Right, we track the prices every month for 800 different cities across the nation. So we're looking at the prices, trends, and every quarter we track what the rents are, so that we can kind of compare those and see where are the places that are more likely to make money, just from a cash flow perspective. Now, one thing that's really important is the property taxes. So Texas, Idaho, there are several states that have 2% or more in property taxes. There's quite a few states that have like 1.5% in property taxes. Some that are down, like the lower ones are down at 1.25% and lower. Now, a lot of the property taxes also fluctuate with the price. So if you have a $200,000 property that goes to $300,000, your property taxes are fluctuating with it.
Right.
Now, in California, that's not the same. That is, we have Prop 13, but it stays the same. But that affects where you should buy, right?
Yeah.
Because if you could buy it 10 years ago and hold on to it, then you have a great property tax that you pay. But if you're buying it now, it's already overpriced, and you're paying property taxes on property that's overpriced. You can't cash flow on. So it's like, okay, where do you go? What I'm seeing, I guess it's a long way of going to kind of central states, the flyover states that a lot of people aren't thinking of. Those prices haven't really come up with everything else. The central states and the South, kind of that whole band, all the way from Nebraska and Iowa, all the way down into Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. Tennessee's gone up a lot, but that kind of that band in that area is still relatively inexpensive compared to a lot of the other states. But then, once again, it depends on what kind of investing you're doing. For long-term investing, you want to look at a market to see not only what the prices are, and then obviously what the expenses are: property taxes, insurance. If you have coastal insurance, or you have hurricanes, things like that, can offset any income that you make. Yeah. So it's important to be careful about that. And then you have high property taxes in places like Texas and many other states. So I don't know. That's kind of my rough estimate. Just sort of the flyover states. One have been neglected, and now people are starting to look at them again. And they're starting to look at them for investment purposes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.